Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic Volume 4, Episode 39. It is our final bonus episode of the volume, and we're going to be doing a Kropki today, which I know pretty well, and despite it being a bonus puzzle, as a result, I anticipate it should go pretty smoothly, knock on wood. Tomorrow, we will be back with the beginning of Volume 5, which means that I need to figure out what color we should make the intro screen. So I'll be thinking about that as I solve the Kropki right after we take a look at the rules. Kropki is a number placement puzzle. We'll be placing numbers into a grid, and in particular it is a type of Latin square puzzle, similar to a Sudoku, where the numbers in rows and columns may not repeat. The rules are: place numbers in the grid such that each cell in each row and column is a different number. As you can see in the example here, we have the numbers 1 through 4, and all of those numbers are represented in each row, and all of them are represented in each column. There are no repeats. Numbers used are from 1 to the length of the rows in the columns, 1 to 4 in this example. Cells separated by a white dot contain consecutive digits. These white dots in the grid indicate that those numbers are next to each other. It needs to be next to a 3 or a 1 if they're separated by white dots. Cells separated by black dot contain digits with a 1 to 2 ratio. So that means 1 is double the other. So 2 is twice 1, 4 is twice 2. All Kropki dots are given. This is the negative constraint in this puzzle, and sometimes you're going to need that to solve puzzles. So since there is no dot in between these two cells here, we know that they are not consecutive, nor are they in a 1 to 2 ratio. So you could not have 2 and 3 in these cells, you could not have 2 and 4 in those cells, you could have 1 and 4 in those cells, or in this example, 1 and 3. Those are the rules of Kropki. Now, let's solve the puzzle. Today's Kropki was set by Philip Newman. Normally when I am solving a Kropki, it is in the form of a Sudoku, and this isn't one, but we can apply some of those same principles. And the black dots are particularly restricted. In particular, they can never have 5, 7, or 9 on them because those are odd numbers, and twice the odd number is out of the range of the 1 through 9 we're allowed. This is a 9 by 9 puzzle, despite not being a Sudoku. So that is our number range, 1 through 9. In addition, if we have runs of Kropki, black Kropkis, then that tells us a whole lot. And this stretch at the bottom catches my eye immediately, as none of these numbers can be the same, and we need to be able to double and double and double again. So in some order, we're going to have an extreme digit, a 1, 8, and then actually, the better way of saying this, it would either be 1, 2, 4, 8, or in the opposite direction, 1, 2, 4, 8. So without looking at any other dots in the grid, I can know that right away. But in fact, I also immediately see which order that's in because of this white Kropki. If it was 8, 4, 2, 1, that's fine and good until we need to go 1 away from that 1, and that's a 2, and we already would have used the 2. So I see that this is 1, 2, 4, 8 in that direction, and that gives us either a 7 or a 9 adjacent to the 8. It gives us either a 1 or a 4 across from the 2. It gives us a 2 or an 8 across from the 4. And this relationship here will do some work for us because 2 obviously isn't next to the 7 or 9. So this is an 8, which forces this into a 4, which gives this as a 7 or 9. All right, that little region is basically, we've squeezed out everything we can. My next question is whether the presence of any given digits is going to do work on the other side of the grid. Probably, but not quite enough, since there is some freedom in how these black dots can work. How about these, which are close? Now, it's tempting to think, oh, we've got another chain of 4 digits just like this one. But since it zigzags, we don't know that it's going to be 1, 2, 4, 8, because we could go up and then back down again, for example. We could have even 6, 3, 6, 3, something like that would be fine. And in fact, this digit here is none of 8, 4, 2, 1. So my little toy example there is going to be truth, because all that's left that can be on a black Kropki is a 3 or a 6. We basically have two, I think I kind of lump into my head into 2 buckets. You got the 1, 2, 4, 8, which can all talk to each other, and then the 3, 6, and then nothing else can be on a black Kropki. So this is going to be a 3, 6, and then the other one, and then the other one, and then the other one, stair-stepping around there. Let's pencil in what is left up here. This has to be 2, 4, or 8 on that Kropki, because we've used up the 1, the 3, and the 6. Here it's the same deal, except we also have the 1 as an option. And we're on this chain anyway, so we know these are all in the 1, 2, 4, 8 group. This is okay. So let's see, what else can we do quickly? I see another run here of 3. That's a little weaker, but it can't be the 3, 6. So these are all 1, 2, 4, 8, as is the one that they connect to. So one of these 2 pairs is going to be a 3, 6. And the other is going to be either a 1, 2, or a 4, 8. We can't have a 2, 4 because that would force this to be a 1, 8, which is not okay. So we got this is one of them, and this is one of them. I wonder if I can eliminate. Is it possible? Is it impossible for this to be a 1? No, it can be a 1, 2. Can't be a 4, 8. So this could be a 1. Here are the options. It could be a 1, 2. Or this could be a 3, 6 in some direction. This is even less constrained. Probably going to have to start thinking about white Kropkis soon. But I'm trying to do as much as I can with the black ones because they tend to be very useful. This number... Is this constrained? Does this constrain these in any way? Well, we have, this can't be a 1 for the same reason this couldn't be a 1. We can't have a 1 that we can't have a 1 because this digit would have to be double on the one side and plus 1 on the other side. Those would both be 2. So this is not a 1. But that's not much of a constraint. This digit is either a 3 if we've got a 2. Could we have a 2 and a 4? We couldn't have a 2 and a 4 of these two, because what would be in the middle of them? We can't have just like we have the kind of the class of 1, 2, 4, 8 and the class of 3, 6. We also have sort of classes in 1, 4 and 2, 8 because we've got to alternate between those two types of clues. A 1, 4 on a black Kropki, 1 or a 4 on a black Kropki has to go to a 2 or an 8 and vice versa. So that means that these are of the same type, which means they can't be 2 and 4. So this number, that 2 and 4 will be the reason that was interesting to me is that's the only case where there is a digit in between those two. We could go 2, 3, 4. Since we can't have this be 2, 4, then this is either 2, 8, or it's the same number twice. And if it's 2, 8, 2, 8 is too far apart. So this is, in fact, the same number twice. Whatever that number is. It doesn't mean for certain that these are the same or different, however. Now let's look at this big run of white Kropki. This could, if this is a 2, we could go 3, 4, 5. We would have to go 3, 4, 5. But there's a 4 in this column already. So this is not a 2. If this is a 4, we could go 3, 2, 1. We can't do that. We could go 5, 6, 7. That might be okay. 5, 6, 7 is a possibility. If it's an 8, we've got to go down. 7, 6, 5 also seems okay. 7, 6, 5. And they have this in common. So no matter what we do, this is a 6, which makes this a 5 or 7. Both 5 and 7 work with the 8 in both of these cases. If this is a 4, then these are a 5, both a 5. If this is an 8, these are both a 7. So these are in fact the same number as each other. And this is not. This is a different number. This is probably over-coloring this, but that seemed interesting to me. 4 or 8 could go to 2, 4, or 8. That's still true. These can't be 1 because we eliminated 2 from the thing next to them. All right. We've got another stretch of 3 numbers here. Is that constrained? I bet it is. There's not enough room for this. Oh, this is very constrained. This is going to blow it open because we've got 1, 3, and 6 accounted for. So what stretch of 3 numbers could this be? You can't have a 2. We'd need to go up or down from that and hit a 1 or a 3. We can't have, there's not enough room between the 3 and the 6. 4 or 5 is all we got. So this is 7, 8, 9. And in fact, 8 in the middle there. 7, 8, 9 in some order. So we put 7 and 9 on either side of that 8. This is a 6 or an 8. And this is a 5, 7, or 9. Just following the white dots for that logic there. But the 8 is going to tell us this is a 4, and we know it's the same as that. 4 has to be next to a 5, and this is the 7. 4 takes out 4 from all of these. And 8, this 8 makes this a 2. Doesn't tell us what's happening over on these two, though. We've got this column almost done just from that. This 6 sees that cell, so this is an 8. Taking 5 out of here, it will be out of there anyway because of this one. This is now a 7 and 9. 6 takes this 6 out. We got a 1, 3 pair in the remaining cell here. This can't be a 3. It's because it's either 3 doubled to 6 or 1 doubled to 2. Okay, I think these colors are useless now. Now what do we have? We have 2, 6. Let's fill in the possibilities. It's not going to tell us much except for they're odd, really. And then this one will be even. Which, and not an 8 because of that. Which isn't that helpful, I don't think. Okay. So, what else do we got? This could be a 3, 6. So we got this and this. One of them is a 3, 6. Because the only other things we have left are 1, 2, and 4. We've used up the 8, and 1, 2, and 4. We can only one of those. It's either going to be a 1, 2 or a 2, 4. We're going to use the 2 on one of those. Oh, we were going to use the 2, so this is not a 2. For what it's worth, I'm going to be saying that a lot. I think this, if this were a 3, that's a problem because it can't be next to a 2 or a 4. So this is a 3. This is a 6. 3, 6, 3. That's nice. And that makes this a 1, 3. Makes this a 6, which narrows this stuff down. Can't be a 1 or a 3 anymore. This is definitely a 5, I think. Why did we say it couldn't be a 7? Oh, it can't be a 7 because of this pair. So this is a 5. This is not a 2. This is a 4 or 6, which goes next to a 2 or a 3. This is not an 8 because there's an 8 there. Should have seen that earlier. It's also not an 8 because it's not next to a 7 or a 9. 1 or 4 makes this a 2 or 8, talking about those classes we were talking about before, which makes this not a 2 or 8. This is a 1 or a 4. This not a 2 or an 8. And this is also not a 1. So this is a 4. This is a 1. That makes this a 2, which makes this a 1, which makes this a 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 is next to 5. And we've wrapped this up, except we know this is now a 3-6 pair. And another 3-6 pair here. What's left for this pair? We've got 3 and 6. We've got 1 and 2. So this is 4 and 8. This is 2, 4, or 8. Okay, we have another 7 or 9 to put in this row. What's left here? 1, 2, 5, and 8. A lot of things. Not worth it. Here, we've got 5 or 7 to place here. We still have to put a 3 as well. What's left here? This is either the 1 and 2. It's not a 3, not a 4, not a 5 because we need 2 adjacent numbers. 6, not a 7, and not a 9. So this is the 1 and 2. That's nice, and that leaves us with 5, 7, 9 over here. 1 and 2 means this is a 1, 2, or a 3, and the 1 and 2 are knocked out. So this is a 3, 2, 1. So I'm seeing why this is a bonus puzzle, as it is a bit on the long side, but I don't think it's particularly hard. 5, 7, 9. And then this has to go to 4, 6, or 8 to be adjacent to this, and 4 is accounted for right there. So it is a 6 or 8. This 2 has to be, we can't have it down to 1 because of the 1 here. So this is a 4. And 4 is next to 3 or 5. And 5 can't be on a black Kropki. So that's 3, that's 6, and then 6 is next to 5. 5 is going to take this 5 out down here. We now have a 7, 9 pair. We have a 7, 9 pair here, which makes this a 5. This not a 5. A 7, 9 pair here makes this a 5. And we've got a 2, 4, 8 triple and a 3, 6 pair. So what's left? This is whatever is left, which is 7 and 9 are the only unaccounted for digits in that column. Let's see. This row already has the 3 accounted for, so that's a 6. 6 is double 3. 3 is half 6. 3 is next to 4. 4 doubled is 8. This 4 could be halved to 2 or doubled to 8. Either one is fine. But if it's 2, how are we going to put something in between here? We can't. So that's an 8. And this is either 7 or 9 to be next to both of them. 6 is next to 5 or 7. 5 or 7 is next to 4, 6, or 8, but 6 and 8 are accounted for, so it's just a 4. And we're almost done already. This row needs a 1, a 3, or an 8. Those are what are left, and 8 is in these 2 columns already. So this is going to be the 8. 8 takes this 8 out. This is a 2. 8 next to 7 or 9, that's fine. Oh, 8 here takes this to a 2. So in fact, these were all the same, even though they weren't required to be by just this part alone. We are left with 6, 8. There. That makes this a 6, which forces this to be a 7, which will disambiguate this corner, like so. We've got 2 cells left in here unaccounted for. What are those? 2 and 5. And we know how those go. That's the 2, that's the 5. Only thing left here is a 1. In this, let's see, in this column, we are missing an 8 and a 9. In this column, we're missing an 8 and a 3. So this is not a 3 because it's too far away from those options. So this is the 8, this is the 3, that makes this the 9, and this the 8. The 9 here goes over to this one, makes this a 7 and then a 9. We've got this 9 talking to this 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9. Lovely. We've got, let's see, this 7, 9 pair. There it is. This 7 looks down here. That's a 9. That's a 7. That makes this a 5. And only a few things left. What is left in this this last column is 1 and 9, and there's a 9 right there. So there's a 1. There's a 9. That makes this a 1 in this row, which tells us how this 3 and 1 goes. 3 is on a black Kropki, so that's a 6. 6 is double the 3. And we've never used the all dots are given, I'm realizing, and might have been able to short circuit some of that, but I haven't needed it. 1 doubled is 2. And finally, the last cell to place is a 7. And that is how we solve a Kropki.